Cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, LoBaggers. It is Tuesday, February 26th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and we have a packed show. We have Ski Profit joining us in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We have Ski Profit breaking down these 3 NBA games. And then in 19 minutes from now, we have Maxwell Smart, who's going to break down the entire 27-game college basketball card. Shout out to all the cappers joining us. We have Freddie Fortune, Nutflush Allen, Odar Lira, JC Alvarez, Mally Mal, BidXN, Daryl Lyles, Headshot, King Rail in the house. Joey Bagamoosh, Hobart, Herberger. We have a great group. Let's get to work. We don't have a lot of time for this hockey card. We spent a ton of time on it in the morning, and I'm not adding any plays on it. So let's quickly go over what's going on. You are watching the Low Shack in the Bag Late Show. My partner, the legend, Lodo's Low Shack, taking a little break. We'll be back soon. Let's hammer this card. Ski Profit in a few minutes. Maxwell Smart in a little over 15 minutes. We got a packed card. Let's get to work. I've had a rough week and a half. The Friday before I left to LA, nice $900 day, got me back from almost all of what I was down the month of February. And then I had a rough time in LA, a rough day yesterday. I have 3 days to fix it for this month. Got to get back to some winning ways. Kevin Pine says, where is Dan Kelly? That's a good question. Having a little time on his own, I guess. Dan Kelly will be back. Headshot wondering if Pete got kidnapped by squirrels. I don't believe that's the case. Jim Rome's a douche in the house. Viper NB. Ricardo Gutierrez. We got a great group. Let's go. First off, we know that Halak is starting for the Bruins. We also know that Erik Karlsson will be in the lineup for the San Jose Sharks. All that said and done, there hasn't been a ton of movement. Let's get the money lines and totals here. Boston opens. Oh, wow. There has been some movement. Wow, let's get to that money line. Wow. I guess the Karlsson move. Wow. A lot more movement than I thought. On the morning show, I could have got Boston at minus 120 or minus 125. Now you can get them at plus 101 at BetOnline, plus 100, plus 104 at 5 dimes. I find that very, very appealing. Shout out to Sean Colve, Ron Lofton, Super Cisco. Wow. That is extremely interesting. That is Tom Gunn, Vegas Gunn in the house. Interesting. I guess I'm going to stay off of this game, but that is much, much more appealing than it was in the early show. Let's keep rolling down the line. Wow, plus 104 available for Boston. Let's keep rolling. Shout out to D. Smith, Trevor Loudon, Mr. Gokster in the house. We're going to roll through this NHL very fast. Flames, Islanders, I find it a dangerous situation. Flames coming down from Ottawa. The 2 division leaders facing each other. Islanders are playing in Nassau Coliseum. It's going to be jammed. I just find this tricky. And Mr. Gokster says, called that line move, Jimmy. You sure did, Mr. Gokster. And a huge call. That's a huge, huge change. Daryl Lyles says, leaning Sharks. Probably missed them. Paul Collins says, love the Bruins tonight. So do I. Gate Pass Key says, 4 minutes for NHL. Watch the early show replay. And Jimmy, you sound scared capping NHL. Get cocky again. Puck line, stop tiptoeing. I'm just trying to help out. Why are you not on Columbus? I think that would be the only play that I would add at this point is the Blue Jackets, because this is a Penguins team missing Letang and Dumoulin. That's very difficult. Mr. Gokster liking the under 6 Flames at Islanders. I'm off that spot. I'm on the Flyers, minus 1.5 at plus 171. That is my first play on this card. Looking at Philadelphia right now, you can get plus 173 at BetOnline. In the morning, there was sharp movement going towards the Sabres. Ricardo Gutierrez also on Bruins money line. Red Girl says, I'm on the Islanders money line. And St. Louis Elite on the house. Any NHL play of the day? Yeah, I bet you there's an NHL play of the day somewhere here. And it would have been the 2 early moves that I took. Capitals minus 1.5 and the under 6.5 in that game. Let's check out what that is now. Capitals minus 1.5, I got at minus 110. Can't get that anymore. Minus 120, probably the best on the board. And then total-wise, the under 6.5 is juiced now up to minus 125. You could still get it at minus 119, so I didn't beat the line movement that big, but I like those 2 plays. They were my favorite plays on the card, and I tweeted them out this morning. Now we have Hurricanes. I got them minus 1.5 here. Let's check Carolina. And, point spreads quickly. Minus 1.5. Yeah, you could beat it. There's a plus 100. I guess it's the exact same. It's pretty much the exact same. You couldn't beat that. Just plus 100s on the board. And then Penguins at Blue Jackets. I have a lean to the Bruins. I have a lean to the Blue Jackets. And Mally Mouse saying Caps -1.5 all-star play. I do have those two leans to both the Bruins and the Blue Jackets, and I'm going to take them both. I'm going to take the Bruins at +104 here. I guess I'm a tiny bit uncomfortable. Halak in goal. But I feel like the Bruins are in a good spot. San Jose ready to finish up this road trip. I am going to take the Bruins on the money line at +104. That's available at 5 dimes. And I will take this Columbus Blue Jackets squad on the -1.5. I'm getting a +176 from our good friends at Heritage. So those will be 2 additions. I find the Bruins, there's too much value to pass them up at home in this spot. And I will also be jumping on the Blue Jackets, who are missing, or the Penguins are missing their 2 best defensemen in Letang and Dumoulin, and picked up a couple Corsi bums in Goodbranson and Weidman. Quickly getting Columbus at +176. That is available. At Heritage. So those are 2 additions to my card. Red Wings +117. Let's quickly see if you can get that right now. Moneyline, Red Wings +117. You can't get that anymore. There's +115 at 5 dimes, +114 at Heritage. So beat it by a couple cents. Predators at Blues. I'm off this spot. Uncomfortable backing the Blues. Oh, St. Louis Elite says, slow down, Jimmy. Hold on. Corey Mack says the market agrees with Boston. Remo says, how does the under not hit in Nashville, St. Louis? Nice to see St. Louis Elite here in action. Gate Pass Keys on the Bruins money line, Flames money line, Columbus puck line, Jets puck line, Canes puck line, Nashville money line. Wow. Yeah, I kind of feel that play. Arizona puck line and Vegas puck line. I'm also on the Vegas puck line. I'm staying off the Predators at Blues. Predators being very disappointing, but this Blues team is not strong, or as strong. Let me say that. As strong without. Raul Lopez, the Sharks coming up with revenge, and he got beaten San Jose by bad ref calls. Nyquist debut. I have San Jose money line. I think the opposite, Raul Lopez. I think it's going to take him a little time to get comfortable with Gustav Nyquist, and I've watched Carlson after he misses a couple games. Plays tentative defensively, still looks good on the power play. I just think there's too much value right now. Paul Collins says, thoughts on Pens? I think a horrible little trip awaits. I don't know how they make the playoffs right now without Dumoulin and Letang. I'm off of Wild Jets. Panthers at Coyotes is another game I'm off. Coyotes playing good hockey. So are the Panthers. Panthers have won 5 of 6. I still don't really trust this Coyotes team offensively. Defensively, they are playing very well. Mr. Gokster says Nashville moneyline loves it. Kate Paskey says Blues will struggle tonight against Nashville. I don't think you realize how impactful Simmons will be. Granlund will play well as a third liner. Live dog. I hear that. And then Knights -1.5 at +135. That is the spot I'm on. And that is the NHL card. We have too much important stuff going on in the hardwood to dwell on this card too much, but I have added 2 plays. And let me just see if I beat that line move in the Vegas game quickly before we get to our man Ski Profit in the house. You can get a +137 now, and you get a +140. So I guess a little bit of money coming on Dallas, which is shocking to me. Dallas without Zuccarello, who broke his arm, and without Jamie Benn, who is hurt. I love this spot for Vegas. As we now know, this Vegas team will be using Stastny, Pacioretty, and Stone on one line, which sounds very dangerous. So that's my NHL card. Locked and loaded. I'm on Bruins money line +104. That's a late addition. I'm off Flames Islanders. I'm on the Flyers -1.5 at +171. I'm on the Capitals -1.5 at -110. The under 6.5 at -115. I'm on the Hurricanes -1.5 at +100. I'm on the Jackets -1.5 at +176. The Red Wings money line +117. I'm off Predators Blues. I'm off Wild Jets. And I'm off Panthers Coyotes. And then finally, I'm on the Golden Knights -105 or -1.5 at +135. Maybe I needed a little inspiration from our man Gate Pass Key to add those last 2 plays. Okay, St. Louis Elite says Blues without top 9 forwards. 9's got to be a misprint. But St. Louis Elite is on Sharks money line, so we're against him there. He's on the Jackets puck line and the under 5.5 Blues Preds. Go get that money, St. Louis Elite. Headshot says, Jimmy, you don't like the Jets? They might have been the overall winners of the trade deadline. They might have been, but I think it takes a little time to get comfortable. No, I do not like the Jets at all. But Kate Baskey says Jets are such an easy puck line tonight. So we have a difference of opinions on that one. Okay, so that's what's up. That's my NHL card. Let's move on to the hardwood. We have 2 extremely exciting games. 1, not so much, but I am looking forward to break it down. And I see my man Ski Profit in the house. I just had such a tremendous time rolling with you last week in LA. Great to see you on the show. Ski, how are you doing, my man?
I'm doing awesome, Jimmy. It was definitely great rolling with you. And I have a question for Max, honestly, if he hops on before I get off about the strippers.
Sure, sure. As you should. You should have questions about said strippers. I get it. And may I say, your new camera looking very sharp, Ski. Looking very sharp, my man. Okay, let's get to work right now.
Oh, that's good.
Orlando.
I'm glad it could be crispy.
Yeah, you're looking crispy, man. You're looking crispy. Let's start right now with Orlando, New York. I was afraid to make a move on it. It opened up Bet Online at 5.5. At that point, I probably would have jumped all over Orlando. Then today on the morning show, there were 7.5s and 8s. Pinnacle's already back to a 7 here. So 7.5s across the board, except for Bovada, which is on an 8. And this total opened at 218 at Bet Online, now 215 across the board. Ski, Orlando at New York.
I'm not really interested in the total here, but we talked about Orlando as a team going forward, kind of while we were doing our thing in LA. And we said that's a team that's making a push. They're half game out of the 8th spot in the East, and they've been rolling. They're, what do we have here? Orlando's 8-2 straight up and against the spread the last 10. New York, they got the last win versus San Antonio, but I mean, San Antonio's been on that long road trip. They're not anything on the road, so I'm not taking too much out of that New York win. I like Orlando here. I'm just trying to figure out whether I like them better on the first quarter, the first half, or the full game.
I agree with
Do
you.
you have anything on that?
Yeah, I feel like early would be a nice spot for the Knicks. For the Magic. I think the
I have
Magic.
a couple stats on that though.
Oh, let's hear them.
Well, the Magic, I know in the first quarter, like 5 days ago. I couldn't keep up with it because I don't bet first quarters and first halves all the time. But according to Joe Osborne, first quarters, Magic are 21-7 on the road. In first half, they're 20-8 on the road. In New York, in the first quarter, they're 10-16-1. And in the first half, they're 14-13. So I would like it a lot better if the first quarter was -2 instead of -2.5.
I hear that. You can get them at -2 at Pinnacle. Pinnacle hanging a -2, but you're right. -2.5 across the board. And I would have to bet them at 2.5. Here, let's see at Bet365, -2.5 at -110. Yeah, I like that look. I think the Magic are going to be up for this game. Eric Jones liking the over here. Dan B says 13 Magic wins, money line last 13 first quarters. Can't bet against that. Now, let's see what the money line would be if you wanted the Magic first quarter. Well, that's going to be expensive. That's -175 or -185. I feel like the Magic first quarter are live. I think that might be the best look on this card. I mean, look at what the Knicks did last game, too. Shot over 50% for only the 4th time this year. Dotson goes 8 for 13 from 3. Knox goes for 19 and 10. Dennis Smith Jr. goes for 19 and 13 assists. Is there any possible way the Knicks continue in that fashion, start shooting better? Dennis Smith starts leading this team, distributing the ball. Just because we know there's no DeAndre Jordan. Can Mitchell Robinson possibly do what he did against Aldridge?
I like Mitchell Robinson as a player, but tonight I think Vucevic has his way. So I think he'll just take advantage of that young player right there. In general, I'm high on Mitchell Robinson, but I think they would need DeAndre.
I think they'll need DeAndre. You know what? I am going to take this Magic first quarter -2. It just feels like I just
Are
don't.
you getting 2.5 or are you getting 2?
I'm getting 2 at Pinnacle, but I'm going to have to bet it at 2.5. You know, that's the beauty.
Well, if you're betting -2, you know what? You need 3 to win anyway. So I'm rolling with you on that, Jimmy. I believe in that play as well. I'm gonna take the Magic on that first quarter.
All right, we are both jumping on the Magic first quarter. Okay, God, I've been on a bad run for a week and a half. I need this. Okay, let's move on to the big game for me of the night. Celtics at Raptors. This market moving against me. I got the Raptors -4 at -103. There was 4s across the board. Now I could get them at -3.5 at 103. Let's take a quick look at the total. This total had dropped, and it still is there, 226.5, 226 at Bovada. I feel like the Raptors are in a bounce-back spot. They have beaten the Celtic team 7 straight times at home, and with this low of a number, that's all they have to do here. That was a very ugly performance without Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard averaging 31.7 points, 9.7 boards in 3 games against Boston this season. I think the Raptors come back at home, and I'd like getting the 4 points here. Would like to have the 3.5, but got the 4. I'm nervous about this game, seeing the market moving against me. What are you thinking here, Ski? Celtics at Raptors.
Hey, all day I kind of was thinking that I wanted to bet Boston. As more as the day went on, I just kind of got off of it. I think it's a bounce back spot for the Raptors as well, as you said. And honestly, I was trying my hardest to make a case for Boston to win this game. They've been getting up for competition. You know, the last few times we talked on a Tuesday, they've been playing teams and been dogs, I think, and I think they've won outright. So that's the only thing that holds me up here. But I do think the Raptors are to play. I don't have a big play on this game on the side. If I were looking at this game, it would have to be on the total. I think it would be a slower paced game and it would go under.
Yeah, that's what the market's been moving. And Dennis Sella coming in right away saying under is the play. Oh, and Super Cisco, my man Frankie, on the Magic team total over 111.5. Not applicable, says Raptors shit the bed. Don't hate because I'm likes the Raptors to cover tonight. I think this is a nice spot for the Raptors. Desiree Diaz says, I think they rested Leonard for this moment. I agree with you completely. Sean Watson says, is Kawhi confirmed he is playing? There's just been not even a whisper of him not playing. And usually when he's rested in a surprise situation, this was not a surprise situation. So I can understand why you'd have some concern because it's blown up in our face a couple times this year. But there's not even been a whisper of him not playing here tonight. I like the Raptors. Are you making a move on this total, Ski?
I know this is one you're pretty confident in. No, I'm not. I'm not making a move. If I was doing anything, I was looking to back Boston today, and as the day went on, I just kind of got off of it. So at that point, I passed on the game. I like the Magic game better than this game, and I like the Denver and OKC game a lot more than both.
Well, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about Denver, OKC, because I'm looking at both these home favorites, and I think they're juggernauts, and the market does not. And that's just a little difficult for me to figure out. I see Denver as the second place team in the conference. I know that I've said this already, that I think OKC will give the Warriors the most trouble in the Western Conference. But Denver's clearly been the second best team in the conference all year. They opened at -4.5 at BetOnline, now -3.5, a -3 at Bookmaker. Let's see, where did I get them here? I got the Nuggets at -3 at -105.
And I want to ask you really quick before you come to me.
Sure.
Well, I hear you like leaning towards Denver, and that's the same way I was when I woke up this morning. So what is holding you back? What makes you think OKC is going to win or cover?
Is that I think this should be a -4.5 spread. And I know that the Thunder are rested after that very difficult Friday, Saturday, home. They're rested. But I think that the Nuggets need to send a message. And to me, I feel like it's the spot. I just feel like it's a spot. Hobart Herberger on the under. Corey Mack says OKC is going to be a play at +3. Alex Amador saying, don't do it, Jimmy, with the Raps. They're lousy in Celtics. I truly feel, don't hate because I'm not sure exactly. Our new guy, our new commenter, don't hate. That's why I'll say don't hate. OKC will win outright. Addis Ababa saying Thunder first half maybe. I see the Thunder as a rested squad. Remember, I did fade them. I had Utah Jazz on the money line that first game out of the break. The 2 stars for the Thunder had a busy All-Star weekend, and I thought that would affect them. I think they're rested here, but the Nuggets have Gary Harris. They have the perimeter defending that they didn't have the first 2 times they met the Thunder, and they beat them without him. I like the Nuggets here. I want to hear your breakdown.
And Jimmy, I didn't make a bet on the side yet. I did make a bet on the total, but I'm going to be on that side with you. I don't see why we're not back in Denver. I woke up wanting to back Denver, and I don't know why I'm scared. OKC is 0-7 against the spread the last 7. When I look at these last 5 game stats, Offensive rating, 5th and 6th, so it's pretty tight. Defensive rating, Denver is 2nd. OKC is 23rd. Rebounding, Denver is 3rd. OKC is 10th. Denver's beat OKC 4 straight times. They beat them on December 14th by about 11. Denver 19 and 8 as a home fave. They're 26 and 4 straight up at home. -3 is pretty much asking them to win. I like Denver.
That brings me
My
great
main play
peace.
that I came in. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that gives me peace. I feel like both of these squads should be 4.5s, and that's why I'm scared. I'm scared because the market is scaring me. That's the only thing that's scaring me, and I love hearing that you're on the Nuggets. What are you thinking in that total?
Oh yeah, on the total, every time, or not every time, but they're under 6-2 the last 8 meetings. They're under 2-0 this season. It's been under 4 of the last 5 games for Denver, under 4 of the last 6 for OKC. Usually OKC is a over road team, but I think it's going to be low scoring here today. I think Denver is going to control the pace, and it'll be a little more low scoring. They're going to defend them well. I like Denver and the under. I'm on under 238.
Under 238, and it's actually coming down for the first time all day. It opened at 235, got up to 238 during our morning show, and now we have a 237.5 5 times, a 237.5 at Heritage, and a 237 at Bovada. Ashley Wynn saying, Jimmy, what is the taint play of the day? I'll tell you what it is. TCU, West Virginia, under 149.5, Ashley Wynn. That is the taint play of the day from Matt Randall. King Rail is also on the under 238.5. Ross Radamas says OKC Denver refs combined 88.50 against the spread versus the home team. Desiree Diaz loves the under. Big guy Bubba liking the Nuggets on the spread. Full game under. Boston money line and Magic on the spread. Super Cisco says agree. Denver under. Campsite Killer says if Denver down at the half, slam them. Second half. Headshot says people acting like the Nuggets aren't getting healthier and healthier. Every day they should be clicking more and more as the season goes on. I agree with that. I agree. Yeah, that just makes a ton of sense. And Harris was not there in those first 2 games. So yeah, you can say that this Thunder team has gotten better as the season goes on, but you can also say that this Nuggets team will be getting better as this season goes on. And I can't believe how good this Nuggets team has been dealing with all these injuries this year. So let's go over it one more time. Ski, you are on Magic first quarter, a play that I am on as well. And in the Celtics Raptors spot, you are on the under. Is that right? The under 226? Yeah. Under 226. And then finally, Thunder.
No, I didn't play the under in the Celtics game. I'm sorry.
Okay, just a lean. And then Nuggets -3.
I'm only on the first and the third game.
The first and the third game. So that's Nuggets -3. The under 238 Thunder Nuggets. That's a play that King Rail is on as well. And also Magic first quarter. Well, I love this. You've made me feel much more comfortable about this card. Thank you so much, Ski. Ski, I know we get you on Thursday, and that excites us so much here at LoBag. So we get Ski Profit on our Tuesday and Thursday late shows. That is wonderful news for us. Where can we find you on Twitter? What else you got popping off?
Just hit me up on Twitter, Ask Ski Profit. If you have any questions, I'll answer as best as I can. And I don't know if you guys could tell, but it was a little choppy for me. I was doing my best, so I'll get back to normal. I'll get it worked out. And I'll see you on Thursday, Jimmy. I look forward to breaking down the court with you again.
I absolutely love
breaking. And Max, the question for Max.
Oh yeah, your question for Max. Max, can you hear us right now?
Yeah, of course. What's going on, Ski? How you doing, man?
I mean, we had a pretty good night. I think it was Friday night. I told Jimmy I have a pretty bad sense of smell, so he told me I was lucky. But I think the strippers, from what I see, they all put ranch on their chicken tenders.
He's right.
I just want to know what you think about that, Max.
Well, up here in Toronto, all I'm seeing is strippers with the honey. So it must just be a Cali thing. But if I can ever get across the border, I'll definitely be trying to advocate for honey over ranch because of gas tendencies.
And you're absolutely right about those tendencies. Dames and games smelled like ass, and not like Matt Randall's taint play of the day, which is 6-4, hitting at 60%, but brown eye, nasty brown eye. Truth, Ski Profit, great capper. Follow him
All right,
at
guys,
Ski
keep
Profit
killing it.
on Twitter. Yeah, what up, Ski? Ski, you handled this little bit of choppiness with class. What a great capper. All right, we've got to roll right now with our man Maxwell Smart. Max, first off, I want to let you know we've got some bets that came in on the morning show. We have Duke versus Virginia Tech under 143.5. Now that total has done a U-shaped move and gone up. That's a Drew Martin play. He's also on Kentucky minus 5.5. We have the taint play of the day. We have Lamont Williams best bet, and we have a huge card that we don't have a ton of time to break down. So let me ask you this, Max. Are you ready for me to start firing games at you immediately?
Yeah, I am. Let's do it.
Let's do it. First off, we have Miami, Ohio at Bowling Green. This is Lamont Williams' max bet of the days on Bowling Green -6. Opens Bowling Green -7. Now 6.5s across the board. This total opened at Bet Online at 144. It's up 1 point to 145. Max, Miami of Ohio at Bowling Green.
Yeah, first off, I like the under 145 in this game. This is a revenge spot for Bowling Green. They had a terrible first game, very unhome-like for how they play at home. Obviously, it's good to be at home for Bowling Green. Let's just hope that DiMaggio, Wiggins, Justin Turner, and Dylan Fry come to play tonight. Free throws have been an issue. Turnovers and D are going to be the difference for Bowling Green if they cover tonight. Be aware that Miami, Ohio has been very good in the first half. So they'll need to be able to hit three-point shots with Antoine Lillard and Mike Laster right away as soon as guys start rotating in off the pine.
Max, liking the under. So that's going slightly against the market move, at least at Bet Online. JC Alvarez says your best NHL play tonight, my man. Let me take a look at that card while we break this down. Now, let's move on to Akron at Buffalo. And we just went over Bowling Green. Max likes the under, and Bowling Green is my man Lamont Williams' play today. Akron at Buffalo. Buffalo has been smashing at home, but we remember when these teams met at Akron, Akron slowed the pace down and covered. Opens up Buffalo -14.5. Still some 14.5s, but a bunch of 14s. This total keeps going up. Opens at 143.5 and now 147.5. Max, Akron at number 21 ranked Buffalo.
Yeah, you have to remember a couple things about this Akron-Buffalo game. First off, Buffalo only had 52 shot attempts in that game. They shot 29% from three. They had 18 turnovers. I think that they're going to have a big advantage on the glass against guys like Deng Riak and Tyler Cheese and Lauren Christian Jackson. I just think that they need a fast start, unlike the Kent State game where they just built on as they gone. If they score 87, hit more than 34% from the three, because that's one of Akron's defensive inefficiencies, and aren't fouling, I think that they can cover this spread tonight. I'm not going to be making a play on it. I'm thinking that this is going to be a game where you're going to see Buffalo forcing a lot of turnovers and really going on a strong second half run. So I'm going to be going with Buffalo on this game, but I'm also going to be taking the under. I think that both teams are three-point oriented, and I think that they're both going to play good enough three-point defense against each other that it's going to not allow this game to go over tonight.
Not allow this game to go over. And the market move, 4 points in favor of the over. Bookmaker leading the way. Bookmaker's got all the way up to 149 compared to Bovada's 147. Interesting stuff, Max. Like in the under in this spot, but not making an official play. Let's keep rolling. George Washington at Rhode Island. We're keeping a nice pace here, Max. George Washington at Rhode Island. Rhode Island opens as 11-point favorites. Now 10 across the board. This total opens at 132.5. Now up to 135.5. Max, George Washington at Rhode Island.
Yeah, this is a really sketchy game for me, but I'm going to actually go with the dog in the first half. This is a team that consistently, in George Washington, falls apart in the second half and really has a lot of value in the first half. They're shooting 44% from three. They're hitting 72% of their free throws. I really like DJ Williams and Maceo Jack. I just think that Terry Nolan Jr. can't be the leading rebounder for this team at 6'2". Rhode Island's offense has been terrible. They're averaging 54 points per game the last five. 18% from three, 33% from the field overall. They're allowing teams to shoot 45% from three, so that bodes well for George Washington. Just the big advantage that they have is on the glass. If they can have a plus 11 rebounding margin, even with turnovers, I think that this Rhode Island team definitely has a shot to cover full game. But I'm just going to have to go with the dog here. I can't trust a team that's been shooting the three so poorly, even though it's not a big part of their offense right now. I'm going to go with George Washington one more time, even though they have been struggling ATS. I just think that if you're going to give me 10 or 11 points or 10 and a half points, I think that George Washington's worth a look. But as far as my official play on this game, I'm going to take George Washington first half.
That is the first play. I'm going to be tailing Max on George Washington first half plus 5.5 minus 110. That is market. All right, let's move on to the next spot on this card. And great work with the pace, Maxie. Missouri at Mississippi State. Mississippi State opens as minus 11-point favorites at BetOnline. Now 12 points across the board. Let me quickly get to this total in Missouri against Mississippi State. Opens at 137.5, and it's dropped slightly to 137 or 136.5. Max, Missouri at Mississippi State.
Yeah, you got to be careful with Mizzou in second halves. They're definitely having they're definitely dangerous in second halves. There's a pretty wide scoring margin that you guys should take a look at. I think that you got to really score against Mizzou's 3-point defense. You got to get to the line a lot of times against this defense. You really have to try and speed them up, which is easier said than done. You got to get second chance points, and you also have to keep in mind that now this Missouri team is healthy. They're not going to give up the ball. They shouldn't give up the ball that much now having Mark Smith and Jordan Geis healthy and Jeremiah Tillman healthy. I just think that the only way that Mississippi State's going to win this game and cover this spread is if they are ball hawks, if they are very aggressive on defense, if Q Weatherspoon's having a good game. I think that guys like Tyson Carter really has to step into this starting role and really contribute offensively like he has the capabilities. The play that I'm looking more at this game, I'm looking at Mizzou as a side. It's pretty much Mizzou or stay off, but I'm definitely looking at the over 136.5. I think that's going to be a good play tonight.
Max liking the over in Missouri, Mississippi State, and looking to possibly back Mizzou in this spot. Let's keep rolling right along. We have Dayton at Massachusetts. Dayton opening at 6-point favorites. Now 5.5s across the board. This total is dropped quickly. Oh, by the way, Rhode Island is now minus 9.5 at Pinnacle. While we were speaking, that dropped from a 10 at George Washington full game to 9.5. That just happened. Dayton at Massachusetts, total at 140.5 down to 135. Max, 5.5 point drop. What are you thinking here? Dayton, Massachusetts.
Yeah, this is confusing for me because when I was looking at the numbers, I was initially leaning with the over 134. I think that both these teams are shooting a decent field goal percentage, and even with Luwani Pipkins out and possibly returning tonight, Carl Pierre's done a very good job. I think that both these teams shoot over 38% from three and over 70% from the line, getting to the line a fair bit. Obviously, I think UMass is going to have an advantage on the offensive glass, even though they haven't been playing Holloway that much. I just think that it's going to come down to who makes the most turnovers, and this Dayton team is just very physical. When you got Obi Toppin and Josh Cunningham, and then a really good scoring guard in Jalen Crutcher, it's a really hard team to get in front of. I think that I'm going to be back in Dayton tonight. I think I'm going to take them on the spread. They got a plus 10 scoring margin. They have the better scoring defense. they have the better 3-point scoring defense also at 27%. It's just a matter of them keeping the turnovers down. And I think that Dayton's going to be able to do that. I'm not going to make a play on the total right now, but I will take Dayton full game.
Joey Jack on that play as well. Dayton -5.5. Noli knows says Dayton UMass under, still worth the look. Noli knows not afraid to stick with that spot at 135, even though it opened at 140.5. Shout out to Noli knows in the house. Now we come to a big game, Max. Iowa at Ohio State. A lot of people loving Ohio State here. Opens at -1.5. At BetOnline, now -3.5 across the board. Another total that's dropped. Open at 143, now 139 or 139.5. Max, Iowa at Ohio State.
Yeah, initially I was leading with the total, but I can't make a move when this line is under 140. So that's going to be a kibosh. But as far as a play on the side, my main man, Jeff Lopez, he hooked me up with his Ohio State first half play, and I'm going to tail that. I also know that J Money is on Ohio State full game. He sent me, he commented on a post and gave his reasons for that. I support that. Initially, I was leaning with Iowa. I did think that the dog had some value, even though they're ranked and they could be maybe a point or two overvalued. But I'm just going to take Ohio State in the first half. They're on a 4-game losing streak. Maybe they're going to figure it out. Maybe they figure it out in the first half, and maybe Iowa comes back full game. But as it stands right now, I can't make a play on the total because the number's under 140. And I'm going to tail my boy Jeff Lopez on his Ohio State first half -1. Or -2, excuse me.
-2 at some books. -1 is still hanging over at Pinnacle, but heavily juiced. Need to -126 there. But BetOnline and Heritage, both -1.5 and -115. I will jump on that with you. 4-game losing streak here. I think they come out of the gates early. I think that's a real nice look. Slow Jams, my man Slow Jams Arsenal in the house. Nice to see you. We got a great group. Adam Lastman, Corey Jackson, Ravens. Oh, Corey Jackson, like Iowa plus the points. And we're going to get to all these games. We got to keep a brisk pace, and that's what we're doing. Now we get to Miami at Wake Forest. Sorry, I'm on first half totals right now. Let me just get the full game here. Miami at Wake Forest. Miami opens up at 5-point favorites. Now 5.5 across the board. This total opens at 141.5 and 139.5 or 140 at BetOnline on the board right now. Max, Miami at Wake Forest.
Yeah, this is a simple spot for me. I like the under in this game, and I like Wake Forest or nothing. I understand Miami has this illusion that they're more talented they are, but in the first game, Chris Likes went to the free throw line 14 times and made 14 free throws, and Josh Childress and frickin' Jalen Horde were 5 for 24 combined. Excuse me, Brandon Childress and Jalen Horde were 5 for 24 combined. So I think that if Wake Forest controls their turnovers at home, I think that they're not only able to win this game, that they should be able to cover the 5 points. You have to remember, Miami hasn't won a game on the road all year, including non-conference season. So how am I going to trust them as a 4.5-point favorite or a 5-point favorite? So Wake Forest or nothing, and I like the under.
Wake Forest or nothing. A lot of people in the chat been backing Wake all day long. Captain Easy says Miami hasn't won on the road yet. And I like the look of the under here. I'm going to jump on that with you. I got the Miami Wake Forest under 140 at -115 at BetOnline. Let's move on to Providence at Butler. Opens at Butler -6.5, now -5s across the board, and the -4.5 now at Bookmaker. Money coming in on Providence. Total opens up at 134.5. Now we're up to 137 at BetOnline. 136, 136.5, and 135 at Pinnacle. The over getting money. Providence at Butler, Max.
Yeah, this is a real interesting spot because, like, we've seen the evolution in Nate Watson. Not only is he averaging 11.5 and 5 boards on the season, he's shooting 57% from the field, and that has to be taken notice of. This guy's really stepped up and became the number 2 to Alpha Diallo. And let's not forget what Alpha does, man. Not only does he average almost 17 points and 8 rebounds, he shoots 71% from the line, and he is their workhorse. I have to worry about how Providence bangs out on the offensive glass versus Butler tonight, and I got to worry about how Butler's going to shoot the ball. I'm definitely going to be leaning towards Butler in the first half. I was initially leaning and had bets that I had to cash out on Bet365 in order to switch and flip on a dime because I spoke with our resident Providence expert, Dean Williams. I'm going to be looking to get on Butler first half. I think that they've started really fast and they have a plus 9 point scoring margin. I think that they just need to limit the possessions, keep Providence's possessions in the low 50s, hit their free throws, keep turnovers down. It's pretty simple for them. Get Sean McDermott his 3-point shots. And remember, if it comes down to free throws, you got 3 good ball handlers who all hit over 80% from the line. And I think that you just need to rely on them at home. This is a team that plays a lot better at home, and I think that tonight they're not going to have an easy time by any stretch, but I think that Butler first half is going to provide more value than full game.
Butler providing more value first half, Max. You have any spot on this total? Oliver Page saying Providence Butler over at the half.
Yeah, I can see the scoring happening definitely in this Providence Butler game. I just don't have I don't have any kind of edge that would propel me to taking the over right now. If I took it, it'd just be a tale of somebody.
I feel that. And shout out to our man, Dave L.A., starting out spring training 9-2-1, LoBag baseball expert. Shout out to our man, Dave L.A., getting the season rolling right. Okay, Toledo at Ball State. One of the spots on the card, Max, where Toledo opens as a favorite and Ball State becomes the favorite. Also, this total has skyrocketed. Opens at 138.5 at BetOnline, all the way up to 146 there. That's a 7.5 point move towards the over. Max, Toledo at Ball State.
Yeah, I got on this over already at 142.5 this morning, so I'm on the over already. But what I think that it's going to be is Ball State shot better than usual. Definitely for their season averages in the first game, and surprised Toledo in the first half. They were able to maintain in the second, and I just don't think that you're going to get the same kind of offensive performance from Taj T, who had 20. I think that obviously the key to stopping Toledo is always stop them on the 3-point line. The more you take the shot away, the better it is, because that's their best weapon. I think that you got to look for guys like Willie Jackson and Jalen Sanford to really step it up. You need Willie Jackson on the glass. You need his defense, and you need Jalen Sanford to hit shots. Obviously, you do have an evolving bench piece in Chris Darrington, who did play well in the first game. I just think that this Toledo team needs to win this game. I think that this is a number that they can win it at, and I would take them on the money line. So give me Toledo.
Going against the market move, Max, backing Toledo here, and got on the over, and the time was right. Now we got to speed up the pace a little bit here. Let's go Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan. Opens Eastern Michigan -2.5, now -3s across the board. This total stayed around 142 all day long, Max. Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan.
Simple formula for Central Michigan. Get to the line, hit 40% from 3. They need a better game from Larry Austin and Sean Roundtree than they did. They can hold their own versus Eastern Michigan size, and they just got to guard the 3-point line. They have the advantage at the line, plus 8%. They just got to win the first half. They got to maintain their push in the second. This is how this team operates. They're playing good 3-point defense the last 5 games. Eastern Michigan's free throws issues are always going to come back to haunt them, especially in these close spreads when they go to the line 25 times a game. 15 turnovers are definitely a major issue, but I think that both teams are going to protect the rim, and I just can't go against Central Michigan being 11-2 ATS and 8-4-1 on the road ATS. This is a team that showed me in conference that they're worth my money, and I'm going to back them again.
Max backing Central Michigan as a slight road dog at 3 points. Interesting spot. Let's keep this pace. Loving it. Ohio at Kent State. Opens Kent State -7. Now we have 7.5s across the board. Total opens up at 142.5, and it's gone up 1.5 or 2 points across the board. Max, Ohio at Kent State.
Yeah, this is the type of team that Kent State has to get out to a fast start. I prefer the total on this game. I think that Kent State's going to be able to get to the line versus Ohio, and I think that they need to implore some unorthodox methods to limit Ohio's scoring if they do get hot. Excuse me. This is a team that hits 55% from the line. I think that you can really take advantage of that. Obviously, you need to get a balanced offensive effort from Kent State. Jalen Avery's back. He had a bad first game, but obviously you got to shake the rust off. But now it's really come down to Jalen Walker and Antonio Williams going off. If these guys go off, I think that they have a good chance to cover the spread tonight. Ohio's 1-11 ATS away, 3-11 ATS at home. I'm not counting on Ben Vanderplay and Jason Carter to have large games tonight. And even if Jason Carter and Doug Taylor dominate on the glass, on the offensive glass, where they had 10 offensive rebounds in the first game, I just don't think it will be enough for Ohio to cover this number and to keep this number under the total. So I'll take the over in Kent State.
The over in Kent State. Both plays look appealing. I'm going to look into them. Let's move on to Alabama, South Carolina. A lot of guys, a lot of cappers we love think South Carolina is the spot here. We had, you got Moss saying it was his play of the year. Opens as a pick'em. Now South Carolina's at -1.5. The total stayed around 145, 145.5 all day. Max, Alabama at South Carolina.
So I read an article today that just changed my mind. Avery Johnson, has changed the practice routine for Alabama, cutting down the drills to preserve energy so they can get off to a faster start. It worked for Vandy. I'm going to go with it again. This is another Jeff Lopez play that he sent me, and that when I researched, I liked it even more. It is going to have an effect early on. It did help Tevin Mack make some 3-point shots early. I think that Kira Lewis is going to benefit from that, being a 17-year-old and never playing this collegiate style and physicality. Obviously, South Carolina is a very physical team, and that's what Alabama is going to have to really battle against. They got to play through contact, and the rotation for Alabama is down to 4 guys that are playing 30-plus minutes, and I think that Dazon Ingram and Dante Hall are going to play key efforts against this South Carolina front court. They're saying the right things. They're really geared up. They really want to have a good start. But the way that I'm playing this game is I'm going to play Bama on the first half, because Bama has shown over and over again that they have bad second halves. And with South Carolina battling for a double bye with Ole Miss and being 4-1 with their win-loss record at home, it's just hard to go against South Carolina full game. If South Carolina gets down, I will jump on them live. But as far as the play in this game, I'm just going to take Alabama first half.
Max
+1.
is on Alabama first half. And Max, I'm joining you on those two spots. Kent State -7.5 at -103 at Pinnacle, and the Kent State over 143 at -110 available at BetOnline. Max, interesting spot here. TCU's been taking money all day, but I know Drew from the SBR Forum loving West Virginia here at home. TCU opens as 3-point favorites, now 5. This total goes from 144.5 up to 149.5. Max, TCU at West Virginia.
Yeah, the fact is you need more from Kendrick Davis for TCU. Kwant Nawai came back and they beat Iowa State. I think that they have to go in and do the same thing. I would beware that TCU beat them by 31 the first time when West Virginia had their whole roster intact. But the fact is, West Virginia in the last 5, they're averaging 56 points a game. They're hitting 20% of their threes, 34% of their shots. The turnovers are terrible. They're giving the ball up an average 17 times. So I'm not trusting this new backcourt of Jermaine Haley and Jordan McCabe. I think that hopefully that the way that I would play this game, I'd be playing the under, even though that the over, the number went from 146 up to 148.5 in a bit. I just think that we're not going to see a lot of offense from West Virginia, and if TCU has any brass, or if they're not fucking going to get stung with a letdown spot, they're going to fucking beat West Virginia by more than 4 or 5 points.
So you are backing TCU? That's an official play?
No, they're only leans.
There only leans the under and TCU. T. Swade saying, what's your take on Caps Senators? It's the easiest take I had on the whole card. Put it out around 6:30 in the morning. I'm on the Caps -1.5. And I'm on the under 6.5. Jumped on it very early. Interesting spot, Max. Great breakdown. Let's move on to another big boy spot. Duke at Virginia Tech. Drew Martin came on the show early. Gave the under at 143.5. This total's been all over the place. Up, down, up, down. It's right back at 143.5 or 143 right now. And Duke opens at 5-point favorites at Bet Online, down to 3.5 right now. Duke without Zion at Virginia Tech. Max, what do you think here?
Yeah, I'm on Duke and I'm on the under. I think that Alex O'Connell shows up again for Duke. I just think that RJ Barrett will take it upon himself and really shoulder the load and really guide this team towards the cover. Listen, I am very I'm smelling some very stinky cock soup river fish right now with this 3.5. I don't understand why this number is so low. I would have had this number maybe 8 or 9 points, but I'm still going to take Duke, who's a better team. I think that without Justin Robinson, this team, this Virginia Tech team just can't get to the right spots to get the shots that they need, that they were getting earlier on the season, and they're just not playing at the same pace. I think that you can see that there's a lack of confidence, and Buzz Williams is just not doing a good job coaching this team right now. So I'll just simply take Duke, and I'll simply take the under, and that's about it.
Taking Duke and the under. Now we have Drew Martin on the under, Maxwell Smart on the under, and I will go on the under with you guys. Duke, Virginia Tech, under 143.5 at -110. I do feel like this line is fishy, and I'm going to stay off of it. Now, we've got to get through some of these small schools real quick, Max. Let's see if we can do them in like under 45 seconds. Stetson at North Florida. North Florida opening up as 12.5-point favorites. This total jumping up from 149.5 all the way up to 154.5. Max, Stetson at North Florida.
Yeah, the first game, North Florida freaking had a big second half. They hit threes and they had balanced scoring. You need Garrett Sams to get to the line. You need Wahad Aminu to really just get on the glass. They got to just do a better job of protecting the offensive glass against this team. They're on a 5-game winning streak. They're coming off the Liberty win. I got to keep on backing this team. There is definitely a good 3-point defense. Free throws are an issue. I just think that the defense is going to be a key. I think that with Ivan Gandia-Rosa, you're going to protect the rim, hound the ball handlers. I think North Florida is the spot.
North Florida is the spot with Maxwell Smart taking them. Let's keep rolling. Jacksonville, North Alabama. Total opens up at 144.5, up 2.5 points to 147. Jacksonville opening up as 1.5-point favorite on the road. Now 2s across the board. Max, Jacksonville, North Alabama.
Yeah, this is a hard spot for me to get on. I'm definitely leaning towards the home dog in this. Had a high-scoring second half in the first game. I think that Jamari Blackman and Kendall Stafford are going to be able to score enough. I think that the 3-point shot will be able to drop. I just hope that they can improve the 3-point defense, and they got to do better at the line. This is a team that in Jacksonville where you're not going to get burned because they shoot 58% from the line, but you got to hit threes because that's their weakness on defense. So as much as I like JD Note and Jace Hogan, I can't trust them with the lead. I can't trust them when they're behind. I'm going to go with the home dog who already won the first game as a +6.5 dog. And I'm just going to say, yeah, North Bama is going to fucking sweep the series for Jacksonville tonight.
Flipper 13 and Corey Mack on the other side of Max in this spot. Kennesaw State now at Liberty. Liberty, huge favorites, 22.5, gone down a half point at some books. This total stuck around 131 all day. Max, Kennesaw State at Liberty.
Yeah, when the odds makers put this number out at 126, they're definitely thinking that Kennesaw was only going to score 40 points versus Liberty. I think that this number at 132 or 131.5, I got to jump on the under. I think that Liberty is going to win this game. I think that they're going to win this game by margin. I don't think that they're going to win this game by 22 or 23 points. Obviously, I could be very wrong. Kennesaw State coach Al Skinner, I think his name is, he is leading the team. So I'm very interested to see what kind of performance we're going to get, especially from Tyler Hooker. So I'm going to just bet Liberty first half, and I'm going to bet the full game under.
Liberty first half and full game under from Maxwell Smart. We have guys asking about San Diego State. I believe I saw Max put out a tweet where he was leaning towards San Diego State plus the points, and I do know that some people like the under in San Diego State. Hopefully we'll get to that game. Next up, St. Louis at Virginia Commonwealth. VCU opens at -9, gets to 9.5. This totals up 2 points from 126.5 to 128.5 or 129. Max, St. Louis at Virginia Commonwealth.
Yeah, I just can't go on St. Louis even as a big dog, even though the lines moved in their favor. This is a VCU team that's allowing 56 points allowed the last 5. They're shooting the ball 50%. They're hitting 37% of the threes. They're playing 30% three-point defense. And, of course, they're hitting 76% of their free throws. And they're forcing turnovers. They are 10-man deep. They're just hard to go against right now. I don't understand why this line's moving against them. St. Louis has shown at times at home that they are turning the corner, but on the road, they have not done that. They're still shooting terrible from the freaking free throw line. I don't trust Tremaine Isabel. I'm taking VCU full game, and I'm taking the first half over.
Wow, taking the first half over and VCU. 2 interesting plays I find very appealing. Let's be real brief on this game. And also, our man Noli Knows has a play already for the under tomorrow. Davidson LaSalle under 137.5. Noli Knows is on the SDSU under at 138. Max, Western Michigan at Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois opening at -9.5 at BetOnline now -8.5. This total's gone up 2.5 or 3 points from 149 to 143. Max, Western Michigan, Northern Illinois.
Yeah, Western Michigan definitely has to worry about revenge going into Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois, the only thing that they got going for them good right now is their free throw shooting. I can't play anything on the side. If I was going to make a play on the total, I'd take the under. But this game is going to be a complete avoidance tonight.
A complete avoidance. Let's move on to a big spot where Noli has been trying to get me to jump on this under. Syracuse at North Carolina. Total opens at 145.5, goes up to 147 or 148. This North Carolina opens at -11.5. It's now -10.5. And Pinnacle -11 across the board. Syracuse at North Carolina, Max.
Yeah, give me UNC. I just can't get in front of that. This is a team that is covering. This is a team that's only lost in the last freaking 10 games to Virginia. They're 10-4 ATS in conference. Kobe White had a bad game. I expect him to play better. Cam Johnson, Luke May, if they're going to each give you a double-double, that is really hard to beat. This team definitely is going to have an advantage on the glass. You're going to see some good three-point shooting from them. I think that UNC can shoot over the zone. I think that they can bust the zone with Nasir Little. Get Nasir Little into the fucking game, get him into the middle of that zone, and allow him to operate. And you will see UNC mop the fucking floor with Syracuse tonight. I'm sorry. I don't know how they're going to get up for that game after that loss against Duke. Obviously, I could be very wrong. They can fucking pull a going into Duke and win, but I'm not taking that. I think UNC is going to be ready for them. I think UNC wins tonight, and I like the under also.
Max, you're keeping such a great pace. You're doing a hell of a job, and you're on UNC tonight. Let's move on to a big spot. Wisconsin at Indiana. We've had people on both sides of the fence in this big game. Opens at Wisconsin is a slight road Oh, that's first half. Sorry. Let's go. Sorry. Let me get to the full game spreads and totals. While I'm doing that, jump right into it, Max. Wisconsin at Indiana.
Quite simply, I'm tailing Noli on the under. I got a better number. That remains to be seen if it's better or not. I'm not making a play on the side. I don't trust either of these teams right now against each other. I just want to leave my one play on this game and just keep it at keep it with the under.
The under. And what did you get that at?
I got 126.
Wow. Oh, I remember when you did that. I remember that from this morning show. Shout out, Max. Okay, Arkansas at Kentucky. This was Drew Martin's second play on the card. Kentucky at -15.5, and it stayed there all day, although Bovada's moved up to a 16. This total opens up 143.5, now 145. Max, Arkansas at Kentucky.
Yeah, I feel really square for saying this, but I can't go against Kentucky. I can't go against Kentucky at Rupp. I'm sorry. I don't care that fucking Reed's out of the lineup. It's motherfucking PJ time. Okay? That's what it is. It's Keldon time. It's Tyler time. Okay? This is a team that is playing just shooting the ball well. 37% from 3-point, 49% from the field. They're hitting the free throws. They got a complete team. All we need tonight is to replicate the same production that we got in our last game from EJ Montgomery and Nick Richards. Give me 10 and 10 from the two of them. Give me some solid minutes without them getting into foul trouble, and let's exploit Arkansas. Okay, I'm not worried about this game. I'm not worried about the motivation spot. I'm not worried about it situationally. I think that Kentucky is going to mop the floor tonight with Arkansas.
Kentucky to mop the floor. Maxwell Smart, Andrew Martin, both on Kentucky at this big spread. Who else in this business can break down 27 games? And right now, he's at, 37 minutes? Unbelievable job, Max. Texas A&M at number 13th ranked. LSU opens at 12. There's some 12 still on the board. Some 11 and a halves. This total opens at 153. Now down to 150. Max, Texas A&M at LSU.
Yeah, give me the under. I'll buy up to 151 in this game. And give me Texas A&M. Listen, Wendell Mitchell is not a fluke. The godfather of volume even said it himself. This is the best JUCO transfer in the nation, and he has finally figured out how to play D1 basketball, and we're seeing it. This is a team that definitely has advantages defensively against LSU stat-wise. Obviously, they do turn the ball over a little too much, and that could make the difference in this spread, but this is a team that's 7-2 ATS versus teams above 500 on the road. They force mistakes. LSU is in a fucking perfect letdown spot. They're getting Tremont Waters back. They may be a little overconfident that he's going to carry the load. He may still be having the flu. So who knows? Maybe he's chafing and it affects his jump shot and his crossover. I'm just making that up right now. But I'm taking Texas A&M plus 12, and I'm going to take them for a half unit on the first half also.
Wow. Half unit on Texas A&M. First half, full unit on Texas A&M, plus 12, full game, possible chafe situation for Tremont Waters. Let's move on to Temple at Memphis. Max, only 4 games left on this card, and spectacular job. Memphis opens up as 3-point favorites, now 4 and 4.5. Total opens at 158.5, now 161s. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I'm going with the dog. I think that Temple is in a good spot to take advantage of Memphis. Memphis coming off that really nice Wichita State win, which was unexpected and undeserving, in my opinion. I think that this is a Temple team that is on the Fran Dunphy tour, and I think that the next stop is in Memphis, and I think that they're going to rain some cock soup fucking parade all over Penny Hardaway and his squad tonight. Not only has Penny Hardaway gone away from his starting lineup of his Memphis freshmen, he has now gone to his Georgia guards, and although they did have a very nice performance in their most recent game, I think that tonight Temple is going to surprise them. If they allow Shiz Alston to shoot like they did in the first game because they were trying to let him shoot, well, he'll burn them again. And, Q Rose burnt them again. Shiz Alston is your lockdown guy to get the ball in his hands at the end of game because he's a very good free throw shooter. I think that the difference for this game and the difference why Temple should win this game, not only cover the spread, is Nate Pierre-Louis. I think that this guy is a solid third scorer, plays good defense, good length. He doesn't give up on plays. I think that Temple's a spot tonight. I don't play on the total, though.
No play on the total, but Max backing Temple. Our man Corey Max says no way, but Max says chilled cock soup will be on the menu in Memphis tonight. San Diego State at Utah State. Max opens at 8.5 for Utah State, now down to 7.5. Total opens at 136, now 137s or 137.5s across the board. Max, San Diego State at Utah State.
Yeah, I simply tailed Kobe Valentine in this. I believe in Kobe, and I believe in San Diego State as a big dog tonight. Obviously, there is revenge for Utah State losing losing by 5 points the first time out. I just think that the way that this San Diego State is pulling it together at this time of year will be the difference. I'm not saying that they win outright. I do say that they are able to hang within the numbers, so give me San Diego State. And I'm already on the under full game, tailing Noli Nose.
Tailing Noli on the under. That plus 7.5 at minus 105 looks pretty nice there. Plus 7.5 at minus 105 available at Heritage. I will go over all the plays that I've added shortly, but we're making this in time. We are getting all 27 games capped in time. Now we get to New Mexico at San Jose State. New Mexico opens at 11-point favorites. They're 10.5 now at most books. Pinnacle still hanging in 11. This total opens at 149. Now 154s across the board. Max, New Mexico at San Jose State.
Yeah, as far as this total goes, the fact that it's gone up 4 points does surprise me a little. We know that New Mexico has the zone that they're going to implore. I think that against the San Jose State team, I think that it's going to be quite difficult for them to bust it. Obviously, it comes down to Anthony Mathis and Vance Jackson doing their job. I just think that with this line being at 154, it just doesn't really suit the types of games San Jose State's going to play. I think that if you're taking New Mexico, you definitely got to be aware of who's getting fouled at the end of games. So basketball IQ for a lot of these New Mexico guys will be tested, because if you're fouling Bray Ivy and Noah Bauman, who both hit over 80% from the line, you're going to have problems covering this full game if it's close. You want to foul their leading scorer, Michael Stedman. He's shooting in the mid-60s from the free throw line. I'm looking to play the under in this game. I just don't see San Jose State being able to score 75 or 77 points. I think that New Mexico will blast them. I'm just not making a play on the side.
Staying off the side, but believes New Mexico not great against a spread on the road, should take care of business against this horrifyingly bad San Jose State team. Lamont Williams, who's crushing his max bets, already gave out Bowling Green -6 on the early show, has in addition Liberty first half over 37.5. Oh, and Hobart Herberger says, got to send you a Golden Knights hat to rock. You know, they are in the division with the Canucks, but I might make a exception in that spot. Now, finally, Max, what a spectacular job you've done on this card. Utah Valley at Seattle. Utah Valley opening at -2 and now -3s at most spots, 2.5 at bookmaker. This total got up 2 points from 139.5. Max, Utah Valley at Seattle.
Yeah, I was initially leaning towards the over early on today. I still am, but I am having some trepidations about it. You have to remember that the first time that these guys played each other, they both basically put up 80 points in each half. Seattle got out to a 50-37 start and just freaking got annihilated by Utah Valley in the second half. These guys went to the free throw line a lot, and basically the difference in the game was the fact that they went to the line. Utah Valley went 34 fucking times, and that was the difference in the game. You really got to do a better job of shutting down the Toulson brothers, Connor and Jake, and Ben Nakamasu. He's a stingy motherfucker. I definitely want to buy that guy a filet mignon, but beside the facts, this is a Utah Valley team that really does shoot the three-point well. And I think that if Terrell Brown and company have any fucking balls, they will shut down the three-point line and play the 28% three-point defense that we expect from them. They'll hit their free throws, which they should have done more of in the first game. And they're going to exploit the fact that they're at home. They're comfortable in their arena. They shoot 40% from three in this arena. They're going to need the three-point shot against this Utah Valley team, because if you get them down, you better fucking put them down this time, because I'm not fucking sitting through another game and watching Seattle get embarrassed in the second half when they had a double-digit lead. So I am trying to bypass this 2-10 ATS conference record, but I'm getting on Seattle, and I'm going with my play of the day for the LoBag show, which does give me some trepidation also. I will be going with two plays. I will be going with Utah Valley, the over, and I will be going with Kent State on the spread as my two LoBag plays of the day.
Wow, exciting, because I'm already on Kent State. I just have to add in this over in Utah Valley, Seattle, which I will be doing right now. Max, you know, we're getting more comfortable together, but truly, I believe this was your finest work. You got through every single game. We got it all done on time. I just now need the winners, Max. and I hope they're going to come rolling in. But man, you did a spectacular job capping each and every one of those games. I don't know anybody else in this industry who could have done that with the time allotted. Respect, Max. I'm adding Utah Valley right now. Utah Valley, Seattle, over. I'm already on his first play, Kent State. I get an over 140.5 at Bet Online at minus 110. Over 140.5 at minus 110 at Bet Online. Wow, impressive job. So, I got a ton of action tonight, and I need it. I'm on a bad run, and I need to roll with these plays. So, I'm on George Washington first half plus 5.5. Ohio State first half minus 1.5. That's a minus 115. Miami, Wake Forest under 140 at minus 115. Kent State minus 7.5, minus 103 at Pinnacle. That's one of Max's plays of the day. I'm also on the Kent State over 143 at minus 110 at Bet Online. Duke, Virginia Tech under 143.5 at minus 110. That's a Max play and a Drew Martin play. I also saw Red Girl on that play. How could you not run with that play? VCU minus 9.5 at minus 105 at Heritage. And VCU first half over 60 in that spot. Texas A&M, LSU under 150 at minus 105. San Diego State plus 7.5 at minus 105. And Utah Valley, Seattle over 140.5. My man Richie Rich says, Max, my man, insanely impressive. Mr. Ghost says, great job, you guys. Ty Rich says, I can listen to him talk college hoop for hours, and I barely bet it. Without a doubt, Max, respect, and thank you for all your hard work. Max, where can we find you on Twitter? What you have coming up? I've heard some rumors, and we can't speak on it, but I've heard some rumors that you might be having a big show all through March, twice a day with Drew Martin, which would be enormously exciting. I've heard some rumors about it, but where can we find you this week? Where can we find you on Twitter?
Yeah, you can find me at MaxwellSmart420 on Twitter. You can obviously find me here, 6 o'clock Eastern, on the LoBag Show with the great Jimmy the Bag, missing, obviously, his great partner, Peter Toto's Loshak, who we miss and are waiting to come home like a family waiting for a military member to come home. So, yeah, and of course you guys will be able to find me on my YouTube channel, MaxwellSmart420. I like to go on after the LoBag Show in the morning, do a little recap, do a little bit of cussing, talk about some strippers and some cock soup, and of course do some rapid leans for the afternoon studies. So definitely tune into me there. And of course, guys, and girls, 19 minutes, we got that NBA duo, J Money is Money, King Rail. They're coming up. You better be freaking sitting on your computers or on your couches and getting ready for that NBA freaking gold.
You know, I love what you're doing, Max, and I'm honored to get to work with you. Max, we got to put a bow on this bad boy. Could you please introduce our man who we've not seen for a while? I guess he's been going to these movie premieres. He had a movie just released. But Max, without further ado, could you please introduce our man, Lucrative Larry?
Without further ado, I have the unique, distinct pleasure of introducing to you a very fine individual who is a handball expert and has great hair. And his name is Lucrative Larry.
Hello. You are. Larry, there's been a lot of talk about your movie premiere. You're starring in a movie, I've heard. You know what, actually, we have the poster for that movie. Rafa, could you pop up Larry's theatrical debut? Very impressive stuff. Gentle Rogue. Rogue. A lot of questions have popped up about this film.
Every now and then, you have to revisit what you've been doing. Whatever that may be, right? And for me, it's been where I come from. And it's no coincidence, right? 1 + 1 has always been 2. Well, it made 3 this time. It made 3. John Rogue.
Wow, I don't know what the fuck any of that means, Larry.
How could you?
Do
you think I know what that means? You think anybody knows that? Nobody knows. But there's the movie.
Gentle Rogue. Wow.
There's the
Larry,
movie.
Mr. Goxer says Larry's a deep guy. I don't know what to say about it. But do you have a play for us today?
Copa del Rey. Taking Barcelona against Real Madrid at +140 at Bet365.
Copa del Rey, you're taking, say that again? Taking
Barcelona at the money line, plus 140.
Wow. And Larry, we have more Gentle Rogue questions. I'm going to start getting them in from the chat and from the LoBaggers. Please, if you have questions about Larry's Gentle Rogue performance, send them over to me or send them to Larry. I've got more questions, and I'm not entirely sure if you answered any of them there. So you don't mind if we keep asking?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll do my best.
There it is. Star of Gentle Rogue, star of Screen and Office, Lucrative Larry.
I wouldn't say star.
Oh, you're the star. You're the star. Most importantly, though, Leche, Alos Bookmaker. Shout out to our man Maxwell Smart, our man Ski Profit. See you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time.